All right, so leg day, you guys. We don't really think about Pilates and legs, but I mean, truly, honestly, they're part of almost every one of the core moves. Big part. Inhale and exhale, wide arms. Let's shake the hands. All right, let's bring those heels together and Charlie Chaplin out those feet and take that little tiny squat. Little tiny squat. We're just warming up the legs. And please know that we're really trying to keep the back nice and long. What can happen is if we're a little tight, we start to bend forward. We're not bowing in this one. It's a little move, opening and closing. Keep the hands on the hips if you want to. You can bring the arms out if you want to. Whatever works for you. You can do the dancer arm situation in front, like you're holding a hoop. And so you're just working to bring those calves back together. Pressing through your heels, wiggling your toes. Nice and tall in the spine. Good. Good. And now we're going to open out the feet for our plie squat. We know about this one. Almost never miss this one. So feel how deep you want to go with this. Usually here's a little snap, crackle, pop going on in the hips and the knees. Breathe. So we inhale as we release down and exhale as we press up. Good. And last one, we're going to hold it. See if we can bring the arms out for a nice goddess. You're going to feel the back ignite, right? As those shoulder blades come down your back. Breathe. It's just a wide arm. Breathe. See if you can sink in a little deeper. And straighten. Arms up. And let's bring those feet back underneath. And now we have the feet pointing straight ahead. And they're directly below your hips, below your shoulders. All right, so from here, we're gonna serve the tray. You know the drill with this one, or maybe you don't. The arms come out and into the sides. Out long, palms are up. That's a big part of the subtle move in making your bicep work. So keeping those thumbs wide. Long arms. Hey, we said this is leg day. We're going to add a squat. Inhale. So when the arms extend, the tailbone comes out behind you. Try not to stick it out. We're going to tuck it in just a little. And on your exhale, you lift. See how straight a line you can make with your body. Inhale and exhale, pressing through those heels and feel it in your glutes. I want to squeeze up as well. Sometimes we're only feeling our squats when we're releasing down. And then we stand up, it's like no big deal, right? So I want it to be a big deal, both directions, up and down. And you're really gonna feel it in your quads here. And of course your belly's pulled in. And last one, we're gonna bring it out and sweep the arms back for skier. Oh yeah. So see if you can lift your toes and breathe. Yes. Wiggle your hiney back there a little bit. Using those triceps. And you're not just squeezing, you're reaching back long, trying to get the middle fingers to touch where the wall and the floor are meeting behind you. Good. Your legs screaming? Mine are. Inhale and exhale. Let's straighten up. And let's shake a leg, let the blood flow back into your thighs. All right. So we're going to do some bar type work, some ballet type work. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring the leg out, right leg out in front, meet the heel, out to the right or the side, and then arabesque behind. And when I say behind, you'll feel it in your behind and back. So front, side, and back. So this is obviously great for your balance. If you need a little help, maybe pull a chair out or just keep both arms out to the sides for balance arms. We do this a lot. That standing leg has some play in the knee. Good. We'll do this one more time this way. And you're really trying to keep your hips still right in the center. You might lift a little to the opposite side. And now we're going to reverse. So it goes back, meet, side, meet, M-E-E-T, and front. Back, side, front. See how much space, how long you can make that leg. Back, side, and front. Good job. And we're going to lift the opposite direction. And get ready. We're going to lift the opposite leg. Side and back. Front, side, back. Open heart. Front, side, and back. Good job, y'all. Front, side, and back. And now we're going to reverse. Back. Whoa. And front, back, side, and front, back, side, and front. One more. Back, side, and front. Good job. And shake your knees, shake your hiney, and let's come into a hula hip. Big circles. Feet are just about a little bit wider than your hips. And reverse. Woo! Feeling that today in my lower back. Good, and coming in to your center space. All right, last little bit of business from here. So one of the things we always want to talk about when we're doing our Pilates, especially in the warming up, is that breath connection with the body. So every time you move, you breathe. So try your very best to not hold your breath. Use your breath. Okay, so now we're going to step out wide one more time. We're going to come back into that squat, but we're going to hold it. We're going to bring the arms up and take some side twists. If this is too hardcore for your lower back, you can, of course, do the little side to sides if that feels a little better. But I like this twist because we're waking up the back, waking up the obliques and the belly all at the same time. See if you can deepen your squat a little. Because we're about to do some belly work. Good, and one more on each side, bop, bop. And come down, good. And now we're gonna find our spot on the mat now that we're all nice and warm in the legs. All right, so we're sitting up nice and tall, finding your sit bones. My more advanced students, or I should say brave, are gonna bring their legs out in front. Let's bring the hands out. Deep breath in, and we'll practice the roll down. You know the deal with that, pulling the belly in. One vertebra at a time, slow as you can go. Nice and slow. All the way to the back. We're gonna pull those feet in and then release the shoulder blades in the back of the head to the floor. Let's press that lower back into the mat. It's a little tuck of the tailbone, just to get into that good impression on the mat, that Pilates imprint. Good, and so from here, we're gonna press those heels, step those feet in rather close to the body, and we're gonna press up and work in some bridge. So I had a Pilates teacher, real hardcore traditionalist. Their warm up is holding this for a full minute straight. We're not going to do that today, but we're going to be in bridge. So make your adjustments as necessary, because we're going to be here for, you know, a little bit. That you, your knees are straight underneath your hips, that they're not open, that you're pressing your big toe side of the foot and really lifting and squeezing the glutes. This is great for your hamstrings. And you're going to press the hands and arms into the mat so that you can lift the stomach even higher. Breathe. Good. And we're going to do some pulses. Squeeze. We're not going to let it drop. Just a little inch or so. Up. 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 Good. Squeeze. And now very gently, we're going to release it down nice and slow, one vertebra at a time. Maybe lift the heels and really articulate your spine down to the mat. Good job. We're going to pull the knees in, give yourself a hug. Massaging out those hip flexors. Let's open the knees for cannonball. And roll your heels. Point your toes. Wiggle your toes. Good. And round two. We're going to press back into that beautiful bridge. And this time we're going to do bridge with toe tap. So bridge with toe tap is exactly what it sounds like. Most of Pilates is. We're going to see if you can lift one leg. For me, it's my right. The toe is pointed. I'm really pressing through that bottom heel, and you're going to tap the toe and bring it back. So that knee is stacked right over that hip. Breathe. You can always double pant. So that bottom is not touching the floor. You're still in your bridge. Good. Two more. Good. And we're going to extend the leg straight and drop. So bridge with leg lift. Down and up. Down and up. And you're going to exhale in the up part. Inhale. Exhale. Still pressing through that left heel. I know it's hard. We'll do two more. Straight leg. You can do it. Good. And up. Good. And now we're going to slowly release the spine one vertebra at a time with that leg still in the air. Oi, oi, oi. And release. Good job. Let's pull that left knee in. Release the right leg for a can opener stretch. Good job. Yeah, bridges are pretty serious business. They're so great for your lower back health. You're strengthening all of the helper muscles, right? Of the glutes and the hamstrings and the hips. Good. Coming back to your bridge, we're going to press last round from bridge. I promise. We're going to press the hips up back into your beautiful bridge. And now this time we're going to bend the left leg and take some toe taps. Very simple, nice and slow and smooth. Classic Pilates where you're just going, it's that quality over quantity situation. So make sure that everything is nice and clean and that you're breathing. Pressing through that right heel, keeping that lift up. Try not to sink. I know it's so easy. And we've got two more. Almost there. See if you can point the toe, of course, unless you get a cramp. Good. And now we're going to extend that left leg, press up to the sky, and then drop it down and lift. Drop it down and lift. Yeah, leg lifts are hardcore. And especially from bridge. So give yourself some credit for even being here. Nice. Straight knee, lengthened back of the leg, pressing through that right heel. Don't sink. We got two more. And last one. Keeping that leg up, and now we're gonna slowly curl down back to the mat and release that left foot. We're gonna pull the right knee in for a can opener, stretching out that left leg. Oh yeah, and rolling through the right ankles. Good job, y'all. Breathe. Okay, now for the belly work. As promised, as advertised, right? Okay, so from here, we're gonna lift and do the 100. Okay, Simple Simon, this is all about your belly. Now you can incorporate your legs if you want to. You can come into a chair or extension, right? Like a low boat. But whatever you do, it's that pat, pant. Keep going. And try not to pull your chin to your chest. You can have that nice, healthy fist of air between your chin and your heart. And you're lifted. Whoop, try to bring the bra strap off the mat. Keep going. So great. It's like a little mini, teeny tiny little micro crunch. Use your belly. Good. And last 10. Good. And release yourself out into a surfboard stretch. Breathe and really let that back come up off the mat. Grow that bubble of air between your spine and the floor as you reach up overhead and breathe. Step those feet out and away. Good job. That feels good after bridge too. Let's step those feet in, hands on either side, and let's release the neck, side to side. If you find that you're really not getting a proper stretch, or you're not able to relax, you can always open those palms. That sometimes helps a lot. Oh, yes. Good. And that's that. All right. We're going to start some compound movements where we've got the legs and the arms doing stuff, right? I always like to start with the legs anyway, and since it's leg day, it feels appropriate. So let's come into a nice chair. Just doing chair properly is work, right? I say this over and over again, but you know, give yourself some credit. If you bring your knees right over your hips and not your belly, right? This little adjustment makes such a big difference in what's going on. You can feel it in your lower belly. Put your hands on your lower belly. You can really feel it. All right, so we're gonna do bug. And some of y'all know I'm not great at it. So we're gonna bring the arms up, straight up out of their sockets, right? And we're gonna tap the left foot, right hand, and bring it back. Right foot, left hand, bring it back. Really think about those arms getting long. You're going through, you're paddling that arm through mud. Same with the foot. Nice strong point on the toe. This one often feels like walking and chewing gum. Now, did your lower back take a powder? Is it up in the air? See if you can press it down into the mat. Get that good solid foundation we need to do this work properly and with great effect. Nice and slow. Knees are bent the whole time. Good. One more on each side. And we've done both. Look at us. Good. And let's hold on to the knees. And cannonball, open up the knees. Roll. Good job. All right, now we're gonna get some more abdominals, all right, with the crisscross. So once again, our knees are nice and bent, and we're gonna extend one leg. This is the full extension, and then bring it back, opposite, bring it back. And once again, I encourage you, feel your tummy muscles working, what's going on down there, right? That transverse abdominis especially, and through those hips, feeling that stretch and that work to bring that knee back to home base. Extend. And of course, I prefer the, right, the double pant. And you inhale, extend, exhale, bring it back. All right, last two without the arms. Beautiful. Good. And last one. All right, now we're gonna bring the hands behind the head. Forget you own elbows. Forget they're even there, because it's really all about the shoulders. And we're gonna lift our heart up off the mat and twist and reach shoulder to opposite knee. Okay, the knee is not coming to the shoulder. The knee is playing hard to get as you extend that opposite leg. And then that double pant makes sense, right? A little better sense. See if you can bring your knees to touch over the hips. That really helps strengthen that inner thigh. And of course, it's easy to get a little seasick with this, kind of rocking and rolling from side to side. But if you're very deliberate and slow, and the movement is very controlled, you won't get that seasick feeling. You might feel sick, but it's different from what I'm talking about, where you're rocking and rolling and sloshing from side to side. And as you get stronger with your Pilates practice, it becomes easier to find that gentle control in your movements. Good. And last two in each direction. Feel that lift through, that twist, and last one. Good job, you guys. Let's surfboard stretch. Oh yeah. Stretch those arms overhead. Breathe, get a good flex on the feet. Oh, step those feet in, hands on either side. And let's rock and roll that chin. Just let it melt over to the shoulder. On the exhale. Awesome. Good. We've only got one more thing to do from the floor, and then we're going to do our other leg work. So let's make the most of the belly time that we've got. We're going to do surprised kitten. She's a banger. So the legs it's the double knee extension or the double knee stretch. The legs are very simple. Let's bring the hands to the mat first or on the belly. And it's an extension, a straightening of the knees, and then pulling the knees back into home base, not the belly. Home base is the hips. Inhale, exhale. Now, if your lower back pops up off the mat completely, then the legs are going to stay in the air. It's a much smaller move. You're still going to get an amazing workout on your legs. But the lower you can go and control that lower back into the mat, touching the mat, the better the belly workout becomes. So this would be a little more advanced or intermediate with those legs kind of hovering over the floor. And of course, it's the inhale, exhale. Pulling that belly button in on those exhales. Well done. Two more without the arms and the belly, the upper belly. Cool. So now you exhale, you're going to reach up and cup, up and cup. It's the exhale. And inhale, arms go over the head. And bring it on in. Exhale, inhale, bring it on in. Now you have two choices with your arms. You can make the arms go overhead and back, kind of like in bug, or you can do the big sweep, whichever works for you today. Either way, you're breathing and you're doing your best to keep the heart off the mat without straining the neck. Looking at the ceiling. Maybe just above the knees. At your diagonal. Good. We're almost finished. Keep going. Let's do 2 more. And last one. Pull it up. See if we can go into an egg. And release down. Good job, y'all. All right, we're gonna flip over. Sausage in a pan. If you have a drink, get yourself a sip of your drink. In fact, I'm gonna grab my drink. All right, we're gonna step into a plank. Taking a deep breath in. And all we're gonna do with this plank today is lift a leg. Lift a leg. Sometimes you'll stay in plank and make circles and do all kinds of crazy stuff. I just want you to alternate and lift one side at a time. And we're in the classic push-up plank. Plank is definitely one of those, even without the bells and the whistles of the leg lift here, that you can really find your fitness, that you've gotten stronger. Because, you know, we all remember not being able to do plank very well, right? At some point, that might be you today, but you will get stronger. And last one on each side. Good job. Dropping the knees, let's press into child's pose. Oh, yes. Breathe. Good. One more deep breath in. And exhale, coming into your tabletop position. We're really only going to do one thing from our bellies. And don't be mad, it's swimmer. Some people love swimmer. Some people are neutral. Some people do not look forward to it whatsoever. Since it's leg day, I want you to focus on what's going on in the legs in your swimmer. So the legs are lifted in swimmer. You can start there. And it's that little drop. You can tap your toe to the floor if you want to. But it's really about what the knee is doing. It's nice and straight. And the leg stays nice and straight. And it's just really focused up in the glutes. And we're gonna bring the hands down over the head. We're flying through the air. And we're gonna drop the left foot, right hand. Nice straight elbow, right foot, left hand. I have to think about it. Good, nice and slow. Little dips, no big deal. Making sure that you have a nice space, healthy space of air between your ear and your bicep. Your latissimus are working down the back to keep that lifted. You can look at the floor or up straight ahead if that feels okay on your neck. See what works for you today. Breathe. Good, nice and slow. Long leg. And now we're going to pick up the pace. Inhale. And exhale, hands on either side of the chest. We're going to roll into a cobra. You can do a low cobra if that feels better for you. Either way, the elbows are in the sides of your ribs. If you can push further up using your tricep muscles, take a cobra looking up. Breathe. And exhale into another delightful child's pose. And we're going to stretch the arms by pressing the elbows into the mat, forearms, hands, and drag that mat. Drop your little Eddie Munster on the floor. Breathe. If you need to open your knees for better air, that's totally fine. Just breathe. Using your back, using your belly for that air. Good, kind of recharge. And we are in the home stretch, you guys. All right, so we're gonna take it to our right side first for some of the classic Pilates leg work. So you have choices. Some teachers are very, very anal retentive. That's such a rude expression. Persnickety, that's nicer, about what's going on, right? You can lay in TV pose, okay? This is especially good if you have a shoulder problem, okay? Otherwise, see if you can stay up at least the first few minutes up on your elbow. Just make sure that your elbow isn't out here, it's not tucked in, it's right underneath your shoulder for really good support. And if you're up on your elbow, I want you to make sure you've got that good triangle of air there between your ribs and the floor. Okay, so the legs, let's straighten them out. Some teachers will say, keep the bottom leg bent, okay? If you really struggle, okay, with your balance in this, and it's too much, and you're not getting the leg work in because your balance, you're struggling, then that bottom knee being bent can be really helpful. I prefer to work on my balance and keep the legs straight. But see what works for you today. We're gonna align the spine and the legs with the back of your mat first. And what I want you to do is lift that top leg, it's the left, and we're gonna drop that drop the toes down so that that heel bone is raised to the sky. It's exposed. And imagine you've got a little string attached to that ankle bone to the sky. Nice and slow. The leg is long and straight out underneath you. Just these lifts. This is all about that outer abductor muscle. Breathe. Using that left hand in front as a little seatbelt. That can help with your balance, help with your stability and your posture. Good. Try not to sink into the arm. And now we're going to leave it up. And we're going to kick forward and kick back. It's kind of like what we were doing at the beginning of class in our warm-up. Kick forward and kick back. And now I want you to take these slow, because what can happen is we do a little bit of a seesaw situation when the momentum gets going and we're missing all of the work. We're literally wasting time. And I don't know about you, if I'm going to waste time, it's going to be more fun. I'm going to have more fun wasting my time. Good. And it's that good squeeze, that beautiful little arabesque kick. And then in front, I want you to really feel your belly. Really through all of it, but you're going to really feel it. And it's exhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. So you're catching your breath, you're inhaling as the knees kind of meet. Good, we're almost there. And release. Good job. We're going to do a set of dégagés. We're going to open up that knee, almost like you're doing a tree pose in yoga, right? And you're going to draw that line to the inner thigh, and then straighten the leg, flex the foot, and squeeze slow, slow, slow. We don't have to do a million of these if we're doing them right. Point the toe, open the knee, draw the line, open, straight, slow, slow, slow. You're squeezing through some foam. Open, point, flex. Good, let's do one more in this direction. Good, and now we're just gonna reverse it. So we flex up, point, and draw into that inner thigh. Remember that tree pose, that open knee. Flex up, point, and draw. Check your posture. Always easier said than done. Let's do two more. Beautiful. With control, with your breath. Did I mention the breathing? Good. Good job. We're going to switch sides. Ooh. Don't worry, we'll stretch. Just a moment. We'll stretch it out. All right, so lining yourself up on this side, okay? Once again, decide what works for you. If you've decided that this bent knee underneath is helpful, especially in the lifts, do it. Otherwise, see if you can challenge yourself. Adding your little seatbelt, getting nice and tall, open collarbone, and let's just go into our lifts. So one thing you want to be careful with when you do your lifts, and depending on the health of your, or I should say the health and welfare of your hip. Oh, I'm sorry, point the toes towards the floor. Forgot. You might notice that you're kind of kicking out in front of yourself, right? See if you can line up. It might make the move a little smaller, but that's okay. Your range of motion here doesn't have, you don't have to be a rocket to get excellent results. Feeling your belly pulled in. Very simple. Good. You might even hear, at least for me, I'm getting a little, it's not so much a popping sound. It's kind of crunchy. Getting into the hip joint. Good. And last one. Good. And now we're just going to hover that foot and we'll do the kicks in front and sweep it slow. Inhale. Exhale, kick in the back. So I like the double pant here because it kind of reminds me I can go a little deeper, right? And watch the seesaw situation. It's like that second pant is the squeeze, right? Just get the most out of it. See if you can keep your heart perfectly still. It's so hard. Foot's in neutral. You can flex it if you want to. Point it if you're feeling fancy. You can flex and point. Doesn't really matter. All about that hip and getting length through your leg. And last two in each direction. Woo! Good job, guys. Well done. And coming into home base. Check your posture. Whenever it's time to change it up with the legs, I like to kind of reassess what the heck. There we go. Good posture. We're going to do our dégagés. Remember this business. And flex. Point and open that knee. Straighten and stretch, flex, and slow. Molasses. I've been trying not to use food metaphors because they make me so hungry. Check your posture. Two more. Nice and slow. Drawing that line. Good. Good, good, good. And last one, we're going to come up and we're just going to reverse it, guys. So we're going to go down, flex when the heels meet and bring it up, point, draw. Doing your best not to open up and roll open. We're staying right on that side of the hip. Just a few more. We're in the home stretch, y'all, for real. Good, and let's do two more. Nice and slow. Take your time, use your focus, use your breath. And last one. Whew, my belly's getting this one. Good job, y'all. All right, we're gonna come up nice and slow. And I want you to bring the feet out in front, kind of like you're at the beginning of class, right? The knees are bent. I want you to cross your right knee over your left. And we're going to drop the knees over for a little hip twist. Just staying on your legs. You can look away from the knees if you want to. We're just hanging out. Breathe. Ooh. And please know, any of these exercises, especially there at the end, unwind, and let's cross the left knee over the right. Inhale. Exhale, drop it over. Roll. Any and all of these you can do with an ankle weight. I know they're not the coolest looking piece of gym equipment, but they're great. Breathe. Good. And gently come back. And if you ever see a Pilates ring, those are cool too. They can be intense. So there's other equipment you can buy that's not super expensive for your Pilates practice at home. Sitting up nice and tall. Almost forgot. Inhale. Exhale, turn, twist, reach. Drop the arms, roll the shoulders. Take your beautiful spinal twist. This is great for the belly. It's a good opportunity to really take that deep belly breath in and do that cleansing breath out as you pull the belly in. Good. Get a stretch through the upper back. Nice, tall. Come on, back to center. Inhale. Exhale, opposite side. Don't be afraid to use that front arm for some leverage. Good. Inhale, tall. Exhale, twist, pull the belly in. Good. And coming back into center space. And boom, bammo, we're done.